Hello guys, it's Lebanon Studios and welcome to this brand new series I call How to Model in Texture. In this video, I'll be showing you how I modeled this simple cap in Blender. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, then please hit the subscription button, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so first and foremost, I have my reference images right here. Alright, so let's just jump into Blender. Okay, so the version I'm using is 3.4. Now let's enable some settings. Click on Edit at the top left corner and then select Preferences. Head over to Add-ons. Okay, so now in the set bar, set for Node Wrangler and enable it. So this is a little bit of information about it. Okay, so with this, we'll be able to bring in some PBR textures. Great, now let's set for the second add-on, which is Images as Plain add-on. So this is going to help us bring in our decals and our logos. Alright, so let's set for the last add-on, which is Loop Tools. Alright, so let's close that. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete the default cube. Then press Shift A. At Mesh, select Cylinder. Okay, let me move this over here a bit. Alright, now so head over to Scene Properties, then select Units, change it to Imperial, and the length to inches. Okay, let's drag this back here. Alright, so hit N on your keyboard, and then come over here at the dimensions, hold and drag to change it to 4. Now the Z coordinates, change it to 4.5. Okay, that's great. Okay, so now let's look at our reference images. So when you look closely, you realize that it's slightly wider at the top and smaller at the bottom. So let's go ahead and create that. So go into edit mode by hitting tab and then select face mode. Now select the bottom and enter into front view. Now hold S and drag your mouse inwards to scale it down, just like that. Alright, now let's go ahead and create the lip of the cap. Select edge mode and press Ctrl R to add a loop. So let's move it to the top and let's add another loop in between and begin to scale it out. Yes, that's great. Now selecting face mode, select the top face of the cap and press Shift D, and then right click, head down to separate and then click on selection. Rename it cover, move it up. Let's rename the rest of it body. Select the cover and enter into edit mode. Press E to extrude. Now go on to scale it a little bit. Bring it downwards. Okay, so let's hide that. Now let's add some loops. Ctrl R Bring them upwards. Add extra loops in between. And then move it slightly upwards. Great, now let's do it for the bottom as well. Nice, now let's add a loop in the middle of the top and the bottom loops. And then let's scale it just like this. Alright, now let's add more detail by creating the creases at the bottom part of the cap. Ctrl R, 2 loops. Let's bring it downwards a bit. Okay, so double click and drag it downwards. Let's do the same for the bottom. Select face mode and select the bottom loop by holding Alt and then left clicking. Okay, now go to the face tab and select extrude face along the normals. Now let's open the settings and change the offset to 2. Nope, let's see. Let's try 0.7. No, okay, let's try 0.5. Yeah, that's nice, that's okay. Now add a loop in the middle and scale it up like this. Great, now let's create thickness for the cap. So we are going to insert using I. You can also use the insert faces tool over here. So hit I on your keyboard and slowly scale it in. Great. Okay, now go to X-ray mode and hit E on your keyboard to extrude. Bring it all the way down like this. And then scale it inwards. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's proceed to create the bottom. Select the bottom face. Hit I on your keyboard and scale it like this. Now let's extrude upwards by hitting E. Scale it in a bit. That's okay. Okay, so now let's create this little cylindrical shape over here. Hit I and scale it inwards. Go to X-ray mode and hit E to extrude. Okay, that's alright. Okay, it's a little bit too long. So let's shorten it. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so now let's do the handle. Let me split the screen. So select the top line of the timeline. Right click and select vertical split. Okay, so on the right side, let's switch to the right view. Let me zoom in a bit. So we're going to extrude continuously till we get to the bottom. But before that, let's add some loops so that the handle won't be too thick. Add one to the bottom, drag it all the way down. That's great. So I want to make sure the bottom face loop is equal to the top. So let me select a face loop at the top, then right click, separate, then selection. Let's select the separated face and bring it all the way down to the bottom face loop. Let's zoom up a bit. Okay, so the bottom face loop is a bit taller. So let's fix that by selecting edge mode. Hold Alt and select the loop. Double click on your mouse and drag it to the top of the selected face, like this. Excellent. So now delete the separated face. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so now select the two middle to face loop. Let's move to the left side of the screen. So I'm going to quickly illustrate the shape of the handle with the annotate tool so that it will be visually easier to create it. Let me see. Let's erase this part and do it again. So it should be something like this. Yeah, I think that's alright. So let's start. E to extrude. Use the X and Z coordinate to manipulate the extrusion. Hit R on your keyboard to rotate. So just follow the illustration closely till you've reached the bottom. Good. So now we are going to connect the bottom face to the end of the handle. So go to edge and select bridge edge loops, and that will connect the faces. So as you can see, we have our handle. And so let's erase the annotation. So it's a little too wide. Let's make it a little bit thinner. So select the whole handle.
night stays long, I'll be the line you trace. If the road goes cold, we'll make a
and then scaling on the y-axis like this.
one more try. Look at that morning opening wide.
So here's the before and here's the after. Okay, so that's better. Okay, so now go to vector smooth and select these vertices. Bring them to this side. Let's do the same for the other.
Coffee on the stove, bills on the seat. Still your hands found mine, like a pulse under the street.
Okay, so let's now work on the cover. Let me scale it down a bit. Okay, so let's create the top part of the cover. Tap to enter into edit mode. Now select face mode and let's select the top face of the cover. Hit type to insert like this. Okay, now hit E to extrude upwards. Okay, so we want to go to local mode, so hit the slash key. Great, now let's create the inner design. Select the bottom face. Hit I to insert. Go to X-ray mode. Now extrude the inserted face upwards. Great. Now let's insert once more. Enter into X-ray mode once more. And let's extrude upwards by hitting E. That looks nice. Head over to the modifiers tab and add a subdivision modifier to the cover. Let's do the same to the cap. Okay, so now as you can see, things are looking a bit weird. So we need to add creases to the edges of the cap to tighten things up. So go to edge mode and then select the inner bottom face of the cap. Hit N on your keyboard, look for mean crease and take the value to 1. So looking at the mean crease, it's highlighted in violet. So let's turn on the subdivision modifier. So now as you can see, it's a lot sharper. Now let's do this for the rest of the cap. Hit I to insert. Okay, so let's do this part as well. Okay, so let's add a loop to the lip and bring it upwards a bit. Let's continue. Let's do this part as well. Take it up to 1. Okay, so right click and let's shade smooth. Great, now let's add some loops to tighten things further. Let's add some over here.
If the road goes cold, we'll make a warmer place. One more breath, one more try. Look at that morning, opening wide. Hold on, hope is coming back. Hold on, feel it in the cracks. We can start again, we can start again. Hold on, hope is coming back. Hold on, hope is coming back. Coffee on the stove, bills on the seat. Still your hands found mine, like a pulse under the street. We don't need much, just one small sign. A little bit of gold at the edge of the sky.
Okay, it's looking nice.
Hold on, hope is coming back. Hold on, feel it in the cracks. We can start again, we can start again. Hold on, hope is coming back.
Let's bring this up a bit.
Bruised by the door, mud on the heel. You said this can't be all. I said watch how we heal. Old bruise, new rain. Same
Let's select these edges.
but every little no.
Control B
Yes, get in.
and bevel it like this.
Need much, just one small sign.
Okay, let's do the same for the cover.
The edge of the sky.
We'll come back to the cap later.
Hope is coming back. Hold on, feel it in the cracks. We can start again, we can start again. Hold on, hope is coming back. Hope is coming back. If the night stays long, I'll be the line you trace. If the road goes cold, we'll make a warmer place. One more breath, one more try. Look at that morning, opening wide. Hold on, hope is coming back.
Looking good. Let's shade smooth.
We can start again, we can start again. Hold on, hope is coming back. Hold on, hope is coming back.
Let's enable the visibility of the cap.
Coffee on the stove,
And let's take a look.
bills on the seat. Still your hands found mine.
Alright, so let's make the top parts of the cover taller.
We don't need much, just one
So select the top face
a little bit of gold at the edge of the sky.
and then hold G and hit Z to move it upwards.
Hope is coming back.
That's okay.
Feel it.
Okay, it's time to create the bumps around the cap.
We can start.
And there are two ways to do it. One, we can just model it, or two, we can create height maps. The advantage with option 2 is that we can reduce the poly count of the cap when we go with it. So I'm going to demonstrate both methods, but we will start with the first one, and then in the next video, which will be texturing the cap, I will show you the second method. Alright, so now let's go ahead and create the bumps around it with the first method. So select this edge loop, right click, and select separate and then selection. Okay, so now let's rename it. I will call it curve. Okay, so now we are going to convert it into a curve. So click on the object tab and select convert, then curve. So now we have a curve around the cap. So now let's go ahead and create the bumps. Shift A, mesh, select cube. Let's scale it down. Hit a /K to enter into local mode. Now add a subdivision modifier. Tap to enter into edit mode. Let's add some loops. Bring it all the way down. Let's bump up the subdivision value to 2. Great. Now let's scale it on a z-axis like this. Let's go ahead and shift smooth. Okay, so it's a bit too bumpy, so let's quickly fix that. Select the 3D cursor tool, place it on top of the bump, then change the transformation pivot points to 3D cursor and scale it down on the z-axis like this. Okay, that's much better. Now let's go ahead and apply the subdivision modifier. Hit /key to exit local mode. And now let's scale it down. That's okay. Now let me rename it round bumps. Great. Now let's apply the location of the bump. Press Ctrl A, then select location. Let's do the same for the cap. And then the curve. Nice. Now select the bump and then head over to the modifiers tab and select a curve modifier. At the curve object, select curve. Great. Let's zoom it a bit. Okay, so let's rotate it at 90 degrees on the x-axis. Then rotate it 180 degrees on the z-axis. That's great. Let's head over to the modifiers tab once more and add an array modifier. Now let's change the value of the x factor so we can give it more spacing. I think that's okay. Now let's increase the count to 31. Okay, so it's not following the curve. So to fix this, click on the little down arrow and select move to first. So this will place the array modifier above the stack. Great. Now let's bump the count to 33. Okay, so the bumps are a little bit bigger. So let's select the curve and scale it in. Let's scale it even further. That's much better. Now let's bring it down a bit. Okay, so let's fill the empty space over here.
A little bit of gold at the edge of the sky. Hold on,
That's perfect.
hope is coming back. Hold on, feel it in the cracks. We can't stop.
Now let's fix this part of the handle. Control R. Bring it closer to the end.
It's coming back.
Now let's do the same for the top.
Hope is coming back. If the night stays long, I'll be the line you trace. If the road goes cold, we'll make a
That's great.
warmer place. One more breath, one more try.
Okay guys, so that's it for the first part of this video. In the next video, we'll be texturing this cup. If you enjoyed this video, then like and subscribe. If you wish to support me, then you can purchase my 3D assets on TableSquid and CD Trader. The link is in the description below. I would really appreciate that. Alright guys, thanks for watching and I will see you in the part 2 of this video.